The river was rising fast today. After days of rain, the water level had climbed higher than usual, flooding parts of the bank and completely changing the landscape. Most anglers would probably stay home. But not me. Something about conditions like this always makes me curious. Big fish often become active when the water rises, and today felt like one of those days where anything could happen. So early in the morning, I grabbed my gear and headed to a stretch of river near town. Instead of fishing my usual spot, I decided to try an area closer to the inside bend of the river. The water looked perfect. Slow current. Plenty of cover. And enough depth to hide some serious fish. At least, that's what I hoped. The only problem? The river kept rising. Every hour the water crept a little closer to where I was sitting. I knew that if it continued, I'd eventually have to retreat. But for now, I stayed. Waiting. Watching. Hoping. The first few hours were brutal. Not a single bite. Nothing. I kept checking my float. Rebaiting my hook. Changing positions. Still nothing. Most people would have packed up and gone home. But fishing isn't always about catching fish. Sometimes it's about believing the next cast could change everything. So I stayed. The weather wasn't helping either. The sky was dark. The river was getting higher. And my patience was running lower by the minute. Then suddenly, I noticed movement. A small fish exploded near the surface. Something larger had chased it. That got my attention immediately. Big predators don't waste energy for no reason. If something was hunting down there, I wanted to know what it was. My confidence returned. For the first time all day, I felt like I was in the right place. As the afternoon passed, the river became even more dangerous. The water behind me was beginning to cover the path I used to get in. I checked my escape route twice. Maybe 3 times. If things got worse, I'd have to leave quickly. But even with the risk, I couldn't shake the feeling that a big fish was nearby. Then it happened. My float twitched. Just once. Then again. I grabbed the rod. Waited. And struck. Fish on. Immediately I knew this wasn't a small one. The fish surged away from the bank. The rod bent deeply. The drag started screaming. For several seconds, neither of us gained any ground. Then finally the fish turned. A flash appeared beneath the surface. A carp. And not a small carp. After a solid fight, I guided it closer and slid it onto the bank. A beautiful fish. Around 5 pounds. Maybe more. Finally. After hours of waiting, I had something to show for my effort. Most people would have been satisfied. But little did I know. The biggest moment of the day was still ahead. As evening approached, I considered packing up. I had already been fishing for nearly 12 hours. I was exhausted. My back hurt. My eyes felt heavy. At one point I almost fell asleep. But something kept telling me to stay. Just one more cast. Then another. And another. That decision changed everything. Without warning, my float disappeared. Not slowly. Not carefully. It vanished. Gone. I lifted the rod and instantly felt the weight. This was different. Very different. The fish didn't run like the carp. It didn't panic. It simply powered away. Slow. Heavy. Relentless. The kind of strength that makes your stomach drop. The kind that tells you there's something huge on the other end. My heart started racing. I tightened my grip and prepared for a battle. The fish kept moving. I couldn't stop it. Every time I gained a few feet, it took them right back. The rod was bent to its limit. The line was under tremendous pressure. One mistake and everything would be over. At that moment, I honestly didn't know if my equipment could handle it. The fish felt unstoppable. Minutes passed. Then more minutes. Still no sign of it. Just raw power beneath the water. Eventually I called for help. A couple of friends arrived and immediately realized how serious the situation was. Nobody was talking much. Everyone was focused on the fish. The fight had become a team effort. Every time we thought it was getting tired, it made another run. Every time we believed victory was close, it reminded us who was in control. The fish stayed deep. Using the current. Using its weight. Using every advantage possible. Then finally, for the first time, we saw it. A massive shadow rolled beneath the surface. And everyone's eyes went wide. This thing was enormous. Much bigger than any fish we expected. Suddenly the excitement exploded. Nobody could believe what we were looking at. After all these hours, this giant had been hiding beneath us the entire time. The next few minutes felt like forever. Slowly. Carefully. We worked the fish closer. Nobody wanted to rush. One bad move could still cost us everything. The landing net was ready. The fish surfaced again. Then dove. Then surfaced again. Closer. 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 Finally. One last push. The net slid underneath. And just like that, it was over. The fish was ours. A giant black carp. One of the biggest fish I've ever caught. Everyone started celebrating. Laughing. Shouting. Taking pictures. After such a long battle, it felt unreal. The fish seemed even larger out of the water than it did during the fight. Lifting it wasn't easy. In fact, carrying it felt like carrying a sack of concrete. When we finally weighed it, the scale confirmed what we already knew. This fish was an absolute monster. The kind of catch most anglers dream about. The kind of fish that creates stories you'll tell for years. Looking back, it's funny how close I came to leaving. Just a few casts earlier and I would have packed everything up. I never would have known what was swimming beneath the surface. That's one of the things I love most about fishing. No matter how slow the day seems. No matter how many hours pass without a bite. Everything can change in a single moment. One cast. One fish. One unforgettable memory. And on this day, that memory came in the form of a river giant. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this adventure and want to see more giant fish battles, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You never know what might be waiting beneath the water. See you in the next one.